and welcome to FaceOff Nigeria. I am Neota Egbe. Welcome. Now, you know what? The elections of April 11 were like the icing on the cake for a lot of people, but it all began in the month of February 28th, or March, or what? Yes, there was that shift, 6 weeks. And then went on into the elections, the presidential election. And everybody was saying, hey, how is it going to go out? March the 28th. That happened. Then April 11th came. Again, how did this journey begin? How did this journey begin? But it began last year when INEc lifted the ban on electioneering campaign. The political parties, the politicians, and their parties got into the frenzy of the moment, and they began the processes. Before that, INEc moved from state to state, distributing the permanent voters' cards. They introduced the card readers, they did the trials, the demonstrations, there were complaints back and forth, there were court cases, eligibility cases, there were also cases of trying to stop the use of the card readers for the elections, but it all got down to March the 28th. Yeah, there were a few issues of card readers not working, and then eventually they were stopped. Then, April 11th, there were fewer cases of the card readers not working, but there was a loud cry of, yes, the card readers worked, and everybody appeared to be happier than they were on March 28th. Be that as it may, the elections have come, and they're done with. The results have been declared, some inconclusive, some concluded. Now, there's been a rescheduling of one of those elections, but all of these questions arise. Should INEc receive a commendation? Do they deserve a distinction for the conduct of these elections? Now, we're doing an overview of the entire process, from the distribution of the permanent voter cards to the demonstration of the card readers, down to the brass tacks, the elections proper, March the 28th, April 11th. Does INEc deserve to get a distinction? Now, I've already received a lot of comments from people, from Nigerians around the world, not just Nigerians, and even observers around the world, who feel that INEc deserves to get a distinction. But then we also received a lot of comments from people who say, hey, don't go there. They do not deserve to get it because they saw the mistakes. Anyway, hold on there. I do have some people in the studio who would help us to answer some of these questions. Does INEc deserve to be commended? I have to my left, let me begin from my left, Barrister Fred Nzako, who is an economist and legal practitioner. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Good evening to our guests, our viewers and Nigerians.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we have Ibo Toga, who is a communication artist. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Iwe, and thank you for having me on set. Thank you, viewers.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, they will go and you will do your... You have 10 seconds each to give your opening statement, and then we'll take a quick break. But since I introduced you first, let me begin with you. Your position in 10 seconds. Does INEc deserve distinction?
All right. For me, INEC has done a good job overall. That is, the big picture is that INEC has done well. But I cannot give INEC distinction for obvious reasons, that in a number of places, including my state, Rivers State, and so on, there have been problems of monumental proportion, and we have this conspiracy of silence in Abuja. For that reason, INEC does not deserve a distinction, but we can get a pass mark.
Okay.
INEC gets definitely more than a pass mark. In allotting marks, you look at it positively, comparatively, and superlatively. I cannot go superlatively because for every human institution, it is difficult to allot marks on a superlative basis. But on a comparative basis, INEC has done quite well. On a positive basis, INEC has done extremely good.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Does INEC deserve more than a pass mark? Do stay with us and don't go away.
Enter the world of luxury Swiss Street doors. With over 28 years experience, stock is of exquisite historical doors made from the finest ancient aga and ivory wood. A range of exclusive armored doors, elegant interior doors, carefully crafted by the world's renowned architects and engineers. At Swiss Street, a door is much more, plus florals and premium quality onyx marbles. Visit Swiss Trade today or call now. Swiss Trade, a blend of beauty and security.
Mama, Uncle Kim just called me. His wife just gave birth. Hey! If we not be God, though, now who go do amo? Now who go do amo? Hey, I thank God. Boy or girl? I was too excited to ask. Let me get my phone and call him. Mama, it's a... Mama, what's wrong?
So, I no fit see my grandpikin now, as dem do obodo oyibo.
Mama, I have a surprise that will cheer you up.
Stay ahead. Upgrade to Glow Mobile Broadband. High-speed internet for everyone. Enjoy the new all-purpose data pack. Use it the way you want. 1-day pack for 50 naira, 3-day pack for 100 naira, and 7-day pack for 200 naira.
Welcome back. Remember, you can also be a part of the conversation from our social media platforms at Channels TV, at FaceOff Today, and at NailTag with those using the Twitter handles. Or you can send us a mail if it's more than 140 characters, faceoff at channelstv.com. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones so that you can watch us from any part of the world on your mobile device, and you can follow what's going on here. The conversation, the question we're asking is, does INEc deserve more than a pass mark? I have my two guests are torn on that. The question was, does INEc deserve a distinction? To my right, Ibora says no, they do not deserve a distinction. They could get a pass mark, but not a distinction. But Mr. Nzako says they deserve more than a pass mark. So maybe you ask him the question why he thinks INEc does not deserve to get more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you say a pass mark, you have to be relative in your allotment of marks, and what percentage are you looking at to be your pass mark? If you take a universal percentage, which is 40%, then that is a pass mark. And if you say you are allotting INEc 40%, then are you sure you were in Nigeria when the election held?
Well, I looking at it numerically as he's saying, a distinction would be anything 75 to 80%, and I don't think INEc deserve to get 80%, because, as I said, in my state, Akwa Ibom, for instance, there's a monumental failure, and I haven't heard a word from INEc headquarters in Abuja. In Rivers State, there is a fraud of historic